I'm so certain all the time. I'm just so absolutely positive that everything I'm thinking is right. And everybody's so certain behind the curtain of their mind. And the benefit of doubt just get drowned out in the shouts of a world with just two sides.
Welcome my friend to the new age. No book we can look on the same page. Nobody is searching for peace, just everyone loving that outrage. But I feel you, cause it pains us. All the wounding, so contagious. And I cannot say you're necessarily wrong, cause it really is fucking outrageous.
I'm becoming frigid and the synapse getting rigid and the closing mind on all sides. See I'm conquering the body. Embrace the ambiguity, the wonder and the mystery that certainty will certainly hide. We don't have to find love. Love is gonna find us. We just need to seek and defeat all the walls that our mistrust built up. Then we can go into the great unknown. Then we can go into the great unknown. I'm so certain all the time. I'm just so absolutely positive that everything I'm doing is right. And everybody's so certain to hear the worries of their mind. And just so damn afraid of the grade that we make almost everything black and white.
Welcome my friend to the new scene. Conspiracy theories illuminate. Misinformation surrounds us. I just wanna listen to Rumi. But I see it, and it's growing. And it's show no, it's not slowing. And everyone wounded, so everyone needs for an enemy to be opposing.
Look up through the stage as to show us the truth. She reaches out her finger and she points to the moon. But we're just staring at the hand, staring at the hand. Never understand, the whole point is what she's pointing to. We don't have to find love. Love is gonna find us. We just need to seek and defeat all the walls that our mistrust built up. Then we can go into the great unknown. Then we can go into the great unknown. Free floating, I lose my center. But this wound is where the light can enter. Still clinging hard to surrender. But this wound is where the light can enter. Free floating, lose my center. This wound is where the light can enter. Still clinging hard to surrender. But this wound is where the light can enter. And I don't know, you don't know.
Dark matter.
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your head.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard. Let me ask you something.
When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Yeah, TGIM. Well, I guess we'll TG it. I'm still hurting today, hurting all weekend. So I guess I could say I'm glad it's Monday. But happy Monday to you all. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the IRONWORX here on freeworld.fm. Morning, fellas. How was your weekends, respectively?
Hey, Josh.
Howdy ho.
Howdy ho.
Not bad. It's cooling off. Not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan here either. It definitely was chillier this weekend, although it feels like this morning it's not quite that way. Little warmer, but still, yeah, definitely a chilly weekend. I mean, relatively, I guess I should say. Daytime it was nice, but when the sun left, it definitely got quickly cold. Jacket and you know, I know I'm whining because you guys have real cold, so I'll stop.
It's actually not been bad. It was halfway decent weekend from what I saw through the window. But it was like 60 degrees this morning when I let Esme out. So I checked the weather, thought, wow, that's nice and comfy. And it's the warmest it's going to be all day. It just gets cooler from here. It'll be low 40s by the end of the day. So there's that.
Yeah, that's about what we hit Saturday, I think, and 40, 48, 46, something like that for Saturday. But then yesterday it only hit about 58. So, and right now it's 63. So I don't know what it's going to do. Temperature roller coaster through Thanksgiving is what my app just said. Apparently that's what we're doing this week. Up and down.
Yeah, it looks like Liz is suffering from a sore back too. Much love, lady. Sorry that your back is hurting as well. Wish I knew what kicked mine off or how to kick it back on. I don't know. But it's hurting pretty good. I might have to actually go to the doctor and see if I can't get at least a couple days of relief. Just something to relax it out. I keep saying it, but I swear I'm going to do it. Got another chiropractor appointment this morning. Well, not this morning. Jesus. This afternoon after work. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if he makes it better or makes it worse. Hard to say. But yeah, real quiet weekend for me. Just a whole bunch of nothing. Laying in bed, trying to take it easy. Hoping something will give me some relief.
Yeah. I've been trying to take a break from all the politics stuff.
How's that going?
All right. Just tired of it. I was just so enthralled with the way people were acting. Not so much the politics, the psychology of the people following the politics. And I thought it would calm down after the election, but good Lord. It seems like some people are having serious, like, mental breakdowns. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if... I mean, is it really illegal what the mainstream media is doing to people? Since now propaganda is legal?
Well, propaganda for them has always been legal. Mainstream media can propagandize any which way they choose. That's why you have a CNN and a Fox News.
Yeah, but shouldn't they be required to tell like a truth, not just make shit up?
Only if they were a news corporation. If they're an entertainment company, then no, I don't suppose they'd have to.
Yeah, true. It does say entertainment after their names.
I just don't understand how you don't disconnect from it. I've been disconnected from it for 20 years, but to just, I mean, I don't know. I don't even, it just don't even affect me in any way at all. I don't listen.
Like I said, it's not the politics that I'm watching. It's the people reacting to the politics I'm watching.
My point, I don't even watch that idiocy. It don't have any, I just don't give it the energy.
I know. I just have family that has these issues. And I want to understand, like, why they listen to, I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating. Just to see people I know and care about, so upset about this. And they wouldn't have cared about it at all if it wasn't, for that idiot box.
I was just about to say, until they turn off that TV, there's really nothing you can do about any of it. I figured that one out living extended times in Oregon, watching it happen around me, because that's really the only time it's in my face that, the level of it. And even there, I just kind of have to go, okay, whatever world you guys feel like you need to be in, because definitely that's not the world I'm going to live in. And then you get this like levels there from the older in-laws who just can't turn it off. I mean, it's constantly on her TV upstairs going all the time in her headphones. So it's just a constant drain, driving it steadily into her head. And then the next layer down, Paul and the family just kind of suffer from the fallout there, I guess, more than anything. Because it's not like they sit and watch the news on some kind of loop or anything, but they're, I guess, kind of like you, grappling with it from the elders down, so they have to figure out something. I don't know. Again, once I got away from that, I just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it just sucks. Having, because I bet a lot of these people were normal people at one time. You see these little old ladies dropping F-bombs to their neighbors and stuff. You voted for that. It's like, whoa. I don't know.
And that's what they did all this for, is for that reason right there.
Want to slap these people awake. Snap out of it. Oh, I saw something that made me chuckle when I got up. Oh, what was it? Where was it? Oh, yeah. Remember the Ryugu asteroid sample? The one that they couldn't get open?
I remember them
you
not
just
being.
take the jar and you kind of get the top hot and you hit it with a knife and you kind of twist that way.
You just pop it on the bottom. Just give it a good smack right on the bottom side.
Smack it on the bottom, and that ragu will pop right open.
Remember how much they went into trying to make sure no terrestrial life, no life from Earth got onto it? They were like, what was it? liquid nitrogen around it or something. Or they made the environment so nothing from Earth could live to contaminate the sample. Well, the sample was rapidly colonized by terrestrial life despite the strict contamination controls. Maybe that's because it came from Terra, like this Terra. They had to have known that this was going to be coming. You think that's why they put it off for so long, opening it? Possibly.
Possibly.
I'll say yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it says, while studies have concluded these microbial signatures are just terrestrial contaminants, arguments for them being extraterrestrial travelers have continued. Yeah. Rapid colonization of a space-returned Ryugu sample by terrestrial microorganisms. Oh, jeez. Yeah, sample was open in nitrogen in a class 10,000 clean room to prevent contamination. The individual particles were picked with sterilized tools and stored under nitrogen in airtight containers. Yep, and it's full of Earth life all over it.
Well, where did it get Earth life from with all those precautions?
Someone left the door open or something. It sounds like. I don't know. My guess would be Devon Island.
Which island?
Devon Island.
Devon Island?
Yeah.
Well, surely you'd be able to use a spectroscopy and figure out exactly what contaminants they are and where they came from. Figure out the weak spot.
You think they would.
Or use a telescope. Couldn't they use a telescope and point it at that? Figure out what it's made of?
You would think they do that with stuff that's light years away.
Right. This is a lot closer.
Light years away. Oh, my goodness. I knew we weren't done hearing about that. They would be better off if they just didn't keep reporting on stuff. Like, report the good stuff and then just don't report the bad stuff. People are goldfish. They're not going to remember. They're not going to bring it back up. I mean, they've been lying for so long. You think they would get better at it.
You only get better at lying if you have to.
Not true. Yeah. If nobody ever calls you out on it, you probably get pretty lazy about it. So the Tesla Cybertruck is in free fall.
Sounds about right.
They're saying it's a fire sale. The value of used Cybertrucks is in free fall. That's how the article started.
What was it to begin with, I wonder?
I don't know. There are people spending a lot of money to get one of those used Cybertrucks at first. People were turning a profit. But now it says prices for the divisive truck are on a steady and steep downward trajectory, selling for far less than the manufacturer's suggested retail price. on used car websites such as Bring a Trailer, signaling that the immense hype has died down considerably.
Especially if your website's called Bring a Trailer. If you're going to buy a car, you should at least be able to drive the fucker home.
The way prices are dipping, in other words, a MAGA hat might end up being a wiser long-term investment. Wow. Underappreciated or under-depreciated.
Under-depreciated. The fuck does that mean? Would that mean it's worth more than it should be? Is it under-depreciated?
You would think so.
You depreciate a certain amount, and you're like, well, I depreciated under that amount. That'd be a good thing. If you over-depreciate, now you depreciated a lot more than when you would have expected to.
Yeah, they're not the brightest.
Maybe I'm not. It's early.
Maybe AI wrote it.
That could be.
So now it's looking like somebody sold their Cybertruck for $83,000 just 3 months after they bought it. A considerable gap from the $100,000 that they paid for it. So you drove it for 3 months and sold it for 17 grand less. Whereas, what was it, in February of this year? Not that long ago. Someone stole or sold one for $244,000. And now it's down to $83,000 in less than a year. Been recalled 6 times since then, since February. Jeez, oh Pete.
Right.
I almost feel bad for all these people who bought one.
It's like over $100 a day. Roughly. Very roughly. Of depreciation for every day you drive it. You buy it brand new and you start driving it, and every day you drive it, you'll lose $100. Right out the value of your Cybertruck.
And I saw some article, I think it was last Friday, we never got to it, but something about if you put a magnet near the Cybertruck's doors or stuff like that, they start corroding like instantly for some reason. I don't know. I didn't really even get into the article. Yeah, just crazy. They were selling for 280 grand. And now you can knock off 200,000 of that. And you can go get one. That didn't take long at all, did it? Who sings that song, The Thrill Is Gone?
I don't know.
BB King.
That's it.
All I was hearing in my head was the heat is on. The thrill is gone. It's gone from me.
Do you know that chick that looks like a mummy up there on the ISS?
Yeah, the one that looks kind of like, if you've ever seen that TV show From.
No.
Yeah. It's kind of a creepy ass show, but one of the characters reminds me of that chick from the ISS.
Well, apparently they're still stranded up there. It says, stranded on ISS. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams survive on soup made from their own pee. And that's the headline. Aren't they always using
Always,
their own
every
pee?
day. Every fucking day of the week.
The way I understood it.
So how is
They
this?
might
any
go up
different?
there with a couple gallons of distilled with them, but after that, it's pretty much paying it forward, I'm pretty sure.
What started as an 8-day mission in June has turned into a 6-month ordeal. Like, did they never think about this? Like, if somebody gets sick or this or that, hey, we'd have to go up there and get them? Are you telling me that they've been just stuck up there without being able to return? And it's been 6 months? Why? Oh, the Starliner spacecraft meant to bring them home suffered helium leaks and thruster malfunctions. Okay, so you don't have a backup plan? How many billions of dollars have we given these people? I mean, if it was real, I'd be pissed off. If that was like one of my family members or something. What do you mean they're stuck up there? They're sick and they need to come home. Why can't they come home? Jeez. They just had each astronaut receives about 3.8 pounds of food daily. Says meals are prepared on magnetized trays with metal utensils to avoid floating mishaps. Yeah, but the food's not metal. So the food doesn't
Yeah, I'll be right back.
fly around all over the place? Don't get it. Every dinner, blah, 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 blah.
Maybe everything is fortified with iron, Zack.
Ah, is that what it is?
I think so. Must be.
No, I didn't know they were claiming that she couldn't come back down. I just thought they were claiming, oh, she's sick, sickly looking, this and that. I didn't know it was supposed to be an 8-day mission and they've been up there for 6 months. Have we covered that before?
I think so.
Crazy. Yeah, I got like 20 articles on Elon Musk today. Where would a compass point in outer space?
Sorry.
Makes you wonder which astronaut took one up there. Wait a minute. Why doesn't this thing work?
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not near my phone.
Good morning, Rico.
Good morning. Sorry, I still have walking pneumonia. If you guys don't mind, I got two things real quick.
Sure.
11 months ago when Austin did my conspiracy trivia outreach thing for my family, the highest donator, which a bunch of you guys have met, but he demands to be anonymous. He's the oldest flat earther I've ever known. Not in age, in how long he's been a flat earther. He's been a flat earther since 2004. Like, he was way ahead of the game. And he could prove it. He's in the ICU right now. And he likes to stay anonymous, but he's local to me. If any of you guys were at I think the only solar return, if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy I rode there with. He's in the ICU, so prayers for him. He doesn't want anyone to know who he is or why he's in the ICU. So prayers to, almost said his name. I'm an idiot. Prayers to him. He's still in the ICU. He's not doing very well.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. On top of what I made for my conspiracy trivia outreach, you add another $1,000 to that and a brand new washer and dryer. That's the kind of guy he is. And the other thing I wanted to say, but me and my wife were laying and snuggling and whispering sweet nothings. So I can't tell a lie. I can't tell a lie. That doesn't happen. But earlier you were talking about politics and people being so divided. Man, I swear it's almost like politics or like next level pro football league sport. Like they get committed and they're cheering for their team no matter what goes bad or where they're imported from. You know, like most of these teams, they're not even like the Titans. I mean, here in Tennessee, most of these players they got imported. So I don't even know what they're really cheering for. Like it's the strangest thing, but I feel like politics is like a next level team sport kind of undying devotion. Now this was topical about 10 minutes ago, but I was getting ready. But that was my chime in.
Yeah, I can see that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what it feels like to me. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it feels like this weird, like, you know, look how many people hinge their entire vote on reproductive. I don't even like saying the sentence or the phrase, but reproductive, quote unquote, right. Like, how, or she's got a vajayjay, so I'm going to vote for her. Like, you know what I mean? Like an undying passion, you know?
Identity politics.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, there's no way I'm a Trump guy. I hope I'm wrong, because if I'm right, that means there's no hope either way. But I feel like I'm right. I don't think there's a good side. I mean, if a lesser of two evils is still evil, right? No?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Thank you. Okay, I didn't come in to hijack your show, and I'm not as white sounding as Andrew, so I just wanted to chime in with that.
Right at the break.
Oh, no. Okay, great. All right. Hey, that's all I had to say. It took me forever. Like, it was topical, not the... Well, almost said his name again. Prayers for my friend. I keep almost saying his name, and if I do, I'm so in trouble. But it was topical whenever I wanted to chime in about, like, the team sports politics thing.
Well, big prayers for him. Lots of healing vibes. Sending out to your pal.
His sister keeps going, Rico, if you send me one more video that I'm not allowed to watch, that I show him and watch anyway, I'm going to be so upset, because I keep sending reels to cheer him up. But it's his sister translating them and, like, holding it and rolling her eyes. All right. I love you guys so much. I'm so sorry.
No worries. We love you too.
No problem, Rico. Love you, brother.
I love you too. And I'll talk to you post-show.
All right. And don't be afraid to pop in some other point during the show. But I think we've got a request here from David Banner. Is that what I saw? I saw it was from somebody.
You did. You did indeed. It was indeed. Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and mute that shit up there, Rico?
I'm trying, dude. Oh dude, I've had pneumonia since Wednesday.
I don't want to hear your excuses. Little pneumonia never killed anybody.
Early morning stuff right there.
All right. We will take a little break. It's been the first half of the IRONWORX right here on Free World. This is, of course, Alex Michaels. Sorry, David Michael is my son. Alex Michaels' newest conspiracy music guru, the NASA Trance. Stick around. We'll be right back right after this.
right, start your booing, cause I'm about to ruin the heliocentric model that you're used to. It looks funny, but NASA's making money, see? So NPCs, I hope you're ready to see. They say it's round, but you can't tell from the ground, and the sun only looks like it's going down. I'll tear up all the evidence you got on your shelf and expose all the proof that I see myself. NASA's grumpy. The first pilot was a monkey. Yo, ladies, why is your hair so frumpy? I know you CGI fine boys, please allow me to trump thee. It's not a fall, y'all. Just like Humpty Dumpty, it's gonna crack like Joe Biden's bad knee. I'm in my prime, a little bit junky. I'm a junkie. I keep the flat earth funky. I'm done with this. Globe versus flat. The drama's so ridiculous, it's getting really hard to be conspicuous. Hey yo, flat girl, you know the globe is gibberish, yeah, you know it's flat, but NASA says it's spinning. But it never caused me to get dizzy, I'm a geek. I love staring at the moon. It's not a dusty ball in an infinite vacuum. I'm pasty, like biscuits and gravy. You hate winter, but it just don't faze me. All your globers do is tap dance, it's a psychopathic romance. NASA transferred the man into a jump. I'm into a lady. Don't be a NASA punk, come on, don't be a Jackson chump. Don't flake out, y'all, don't be a NASA punk or a Jackson chump. Yeah, do you know what they're doing? They're doing the contest fun. Don't be a NASA chump, don't be a fanboy punk. Yo, people say the flat earth is really funny looking. That's alright, cause the movement is cooking. You lie, you fib, you constantly take people's money, and it just ain't funny. I'm not a slave bee, so don't you blame me. And the ISS is fake, see? Oh yeah, buddy, you know their motives are weird, cause in 69 the US had their head up their rear. The scam is big. Nuh-uh, they're not ashamed. Big like the Trump card, they still haven't played. They get paid on the daily, you know it's a farce. Drinking what they're pissing and their budget's too large. They're either stupid or their brains are diluted. Anything they've ever done has been disputed. Aimed at the moon one time and y'all missed it. Now you're at the bottom of a pool eating Triscuits. Other images are CGI. It's pretty obvious that all they do is lie. All you have to do is give Nazis a chance, and NASA's gonna do their dance. The NASA transferred the man into a jump. I'm into a lady. Don't be a NASA punk, come on, don't be a Jackson chump. Don't flake out, y'all, don't be a NASA punk or a Jackson chump. Yeah, do you know what they're doing? They're doing the contest fun. Don't be a NASA chump, don't be a fanboy punk. Ah yeah, space is fake, y'all. They're laughing in your face, yeah? Ah yeah, now that you know a little bit about NASA, let me tell you a little bit about myself. There's not much to say, check it out. Heard the earth was flat, but I thought he was joking. Crying and bitching, now YouTube is broken. McTooney's just a monkey. In Tennessee, dude, I heard you look like a crack junkie. That's alright, cause you got no devotion. Go join your boy Craig, cross the ocean. Which you put y'all to shame. It's a psyop, y'all, Hollywood's to blame. No good reason, except for the fame. You gotta lie to remain in the game. Jumping, slumping, ducking, screwing around, faking the fun. So when the cyberpunk jumps, make the mental triple jump. Selling flat earth's been true from the jump. The NASA transferred the man into a jump. I'm into a lady. Don't be a NASA punk, come on, don't be a Jackson chump. Don't flake out, y'all, don't be a NASA punk or a Jackson chump. Yeah, do you know what they're doing? They're doing the contest fun. Don't be a NASA chump. Watch out, old people, don't be NASA punks. Don't you lose your lunch. Young people, don't fake the funk. Don't be NASA chumps. Canadians, you're actually too darn polite for me to insult. Joe Rogan, are you a NASA punk? Or just a loudmouth chump? Space is stupid. Face the music. Oh, don't be a NASA punk.
Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
All
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworks because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. ironrealmmedia is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworks with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworks and become an Iron Scout.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworks right here on freeworld.fm. You can also find us live on our Iron Realm Media YouTube channel and the Iron Realm Media Rumble channel. Check us out over on Rumble as well. I will start putting things up there on Rumble someday, I swear.
Look at you going.
Oh, I'm not going, but I will be. Eventually.
So, do you ever think there'll be a time where we can like jump into a teleporter and just be like, boop. Okay, now I'm in Australia.
Yeah, no. I mean, people may be able to do it, but I'm like Bones. You're not getting me in that fucking contraption.
So they say quantum teleportation, the next frontier in technology and science. This is by the Brighter Side News. It's no longer just science fiction. Discover how recent advancements in entanglement and quantum networks are revolutionizing communication and computing. So they get into it pretty quick with, teleportation, a long fixture of science fiction, is edging closer to reality. Now that's kind of a misnomer, but they do come out and say, at its core, teleportation in the quantum world isn't about physically transporting objects or people as popularized by franchises like Star Trek. Instead, it involves transmitting quantum states, essentially the fundamental properties of particles like electrons or photons, without physical movement of the particles themselves. This sounds so stupid. So it's quantum entanglement, they say, where two or more particles become so interconnected that the state of one directly influences the other, no matter how far away they are. So they say this is their proof, all right? They used entangled photons. So photons, theoretical objects, mind you. Nobody's ever taken a picture of a photon.
But they got two of them, you say?
Yeah, they have two of them trapped in a little thing, just two photons. And they successfully transmitted quantum information over 1,200 kilometers via satellite.
So they have two photons. And what, they separated them by 1,200 kilometers? They took one of them out and drove it down the road 1,200 kilometers? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Then they gave information to one, and through the quantum entanglement, it instantly appeared at the other one.
Oh, they transmit one photon. It says.
So then there's three?
they created a pair of entangled photons and transmit one photon to a ground station while the other remains aboard the satellite. So they take one photon and they shoot it, and they have something that can catch one photon. When the photon on Earth is manipulated, its twin in space instantly reflects the same change, proving that entanglement holds even over immense distances. So how do you get one of these machines that just entangles photons for you?
That was my first thought too, Zach, but it doesn't just entangle them. It captures light, filters and separates it down to the photon level, gets rid of all the other photons, leaving only two. Then it quantumly entangles those two photons and shoots one out. Where do you find that fucking machine?
Yeah. That seems like some pretty advanced technological know-how right there.
All done without human hands, human intervention. It's all being done in space aboard a satellite.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
And they say space is hard.
Money. I'm sure they need funding. I mean, we're never going to be able to jump into the old teleporter and beam me up, Scotty, unless we give them more money, right?
Don't.
Let's see, do it. Come on, say it. Say the magic words. Blah, blah, blah. It uses entangled particles. Blah, 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 blah. Secure communications for banking. But what if somebody builds a machine that catches your photon?
Right? I've watched the NFL. I've seen interceptions happen. I've watched baseball, the outfielders not calling who's going to catch the ball, and they just run into each other. You got to know. I mean, you got to know who's making the play. Just imagine if there were defensive outfield players trying to catch the ball away from one of the people already out there. Now, that'd be a good game. Get a little physical in baseball. In the outfield.
Did they mention what kind of chopsticks they were going to use? That's how you catch rockets. I figured it works for this.
And flies.
And flies, exactly.
So here it is.
Bread box and smaller than a rocket launcher.
This is a really long article, and you get down near the bottom, and it gets to the meat and potatoes. Cost is another consideration. Building and maintaining quantum infrastructure is expensive
because it's so small.
With many projects relying on government funding. So they've already allocated over $1 billion to quantum research, including teleportation. Oh my goodness. That's our tax dollars.
It'd be cheaper if they just built it life size. Why not just build it regular size? See what happens. Fuck.
The long-term potential of quantum teleportation extends beyond secure communication and computing. In theoretical physics, teleportation experiments are deepening our understanding of the universe. Oh, my goodness.
Right.
And I'm done with this article. It just keeps going on and on. But yeah, but I don't think they need any funding just yet. They just got $1 billion in 2018. As long as they don't spend it like the federal government, they should be funded at least a couple more years, you would think. $1 billion. That's insane. Oh no. NASA ocean world explorers have to swim before they could fly. Really? I'm sorry, but don't you have to fly to the place before you start swimming in it?
Well, they've been prepping in a pool for this one, don't you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, to get there, like, before you can swim on the oceans of Europa, you'd have to fly to Europa first. So really, they got to fly before they can swim. The article's a little misleading. But I get what you're saying. They're practicing in the pool here right now. So I wonder where they're going to do this
And
stuff. You think it's going to look like our ocean?
I mean,
is there any place in the oceans where you don't have life? Like, how would they? I mean, I know Devon Island's pretty desolate and there's not much there, so you can snap pictures all day and not really worry about seeing, people walking around or, little mammals or whatnot. There's not a whole lot on Devon Island. But in the ocean, I mean, how are you going to hide all the life? I'm not a big ocean guy, so I really don't know. Are there places in the ocean that don't have that much life?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe
I don't believe.
I mean, I suppose you could go somewhere that doesn't have much. So I was listening to the Sean Ryan show yesterday whilst out and about and heard his interview with Annie Jacobson. And it was the one on nuclear Armageddon in 2024. A lot of doom and gloom, a lot of stuff there. But they were talking about submarines and nuclear submarines. And some of the interviews she was doing with like the Secretary of Defense and all these uppity ups in the government and the military on all different subjects. Because she's written several books. But what one of these interviewees told her when she was researching her book was that when you're hunting for a nuclear submarine in the ocean, it's easier to find a grapefruit-sized object in space than it is to find a nuclear submarine in the oceans on Earth. I just thought that was interesting.
How is that easier?
I don't imagine she got into it with him when he said it. Sean didn't get into it with her when she repeated it. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know how you would justify a statement like that.
Because isn't there a lot more space in space than down in the ocean?
That was my understanding.
Grapefruit is much smaller than a submarine. I'm sure a submarine can carry quite a few grapefruits around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's just how stealthy they are, don't you know? I think was what he said.
Sure.
That's why it's harder to find this sub, because it's just so stealthy. Not like that loud, obnoxious one-man band grapefruit-sized object floating around through space, making all that noise, banging the cymbals, playing his drums, and his guitar, and his harmonica all at the same damn time.
I would have to guess that the sub still makes more noise than the rock.
Right.
As quiet as that sub can be, I'd bet it still makes more noise than an inanimate object floating in Narnia. The Black Moon arrives in Pacific Northwest skies Saturday. What is it? You guys ever heard of a black moon?
I thought it was something the Moors and the Black Panthers had come up with.
Didn't they open for Cannibal Corpse in '84?
White moon is from the white devil.
So according to OMSI, that's all they say. They don't tell me what OMSI is. No, it's not the. No, this is from KOIN. Okay. Because you've heard about once in a blue moon, but what about a black moon? According to OMSI, both lunar events are similar, with the blue moon being the second full moon of a single month. The black moon, on the other hand, is a second new moon appearing in the same month. Well, that's pretty stupid because the new moon doesn't appear at all. But two new moons in the same month are black moon. I never heard of it called a black moon. Did they just make this up?
I'd never heard of that either, but I suppose it makes sense. Maybe.
It's also set to appear in skies in Western time zones. No, it isn't.
But, how does that work?
Yeah, it's set to appear, blah, 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 although it's highly unlikely you can see. No, it's impossible. It's not highly unlikely you're not going to see the new moon. It's impossible to see the new moon.
Even the black moon?
Yes.
I'm typing in black moon and immediately getting Lilith. So that's what I was thinking when you first started talking about this.
And the only way you can see the new moon is during the solar eclipse, like in 2017. That's why we don't see it. That's why it's defined as black. Then you shouldn't use words like appear. Appears means, you're able to see it and peer at it. Additionally, it turns out the black moon is actually not as rare as one would think. It all comes down to fortunate timing. So every month we have a new moon, blah, blah, blah. That's called the lunar cycle. So every month we have a new moon. This month, because of the calendar system, we have two that fall on the same calendar system. And so that means the lunar cycle goes around the Earth 13 times in 1 year, and every month we have a new moon. Timing is everything. Last black moon we had was the July of 2019. So they're about as rare as a blue moon. And if you're someone like just Jack, there's no such thing as a new moon or a black moon, because the month is started and ended with the lunar cycles in the Hebrew calendar. The new moon means that it's a new month. So there is no two moons in the same month, because the moon is what's used to tell us the months. Black moon. Yeah, I was thinking Lilith too there, Walter.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Hebrew, I just found out yesterday or Saturday that my daughter is cleaning house for a lady who is teaching Hebrew locally. So I told her to get some contact info, and I'm going to reach out. And the reason she's been doing her thing with the Hebrew is the exact reason we all have been talking about, so she can read it for herself.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I was blown away by that. Huh?
Saturday morning scripture studies over on Karen B's channel.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you'd really, really enjoy that. Because he goes into the Hebrew etymology of the words and all that kind of stuff, and it's the Bible in a way you've never heard it before. The stories change, all kinds of stuff changes when you go back to the Hebrew and just not interpret it but read exactly what it says. That's going to do it. Look at us go. That can happen the first
It is 5:00.
Damn. It's flying by.
Liz is producing us hard in the chat.
Somebody's got to.
You know.
All right, then I think we do have a request here from Rico that I saw. Surprise, surprise.
Rico requested a song? Or you better check that avatar again.
A girl named Jenna Krause. She's a beautiful voice, man, this girl.
What is this? Is this really what you sent me, Rico?
After
all right, I'll play it.
Seeing her around for, a few weeks, we said, all right, go ahead and sing. And
I mean, this is YouTube music.
Blew us away.
You gotta see Andy. He looks great. Hey, Andy. We're sorry. Here we go.
So
Here we go.
confused.
All right, I think it's starting now.
Mouthful of cavities. And your soul's a bowl of jokes. And every day you remind me how I'm desperately in need. See, I got a lot of fiends around, and they're peeking through nothing new. They see you. They see everything you do. Smile. See, I haven't seen you smile in a little while. Haven't seen him smile in a little
We're about 2/3 of the way done with the record. I feel like it's coming out good. I feel like we've made improvements over the last record.
It's an enjoyable project, and I get along with all the guys pretty well and everything, so it's been good. And it's good music. It's a lot of fun.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Where everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
there is no dark matter out there, we need to think really hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
And welcome back. That was quite a pick there, Rico. Quite a pick. Wasn't quite sure what I heard, but there was some good stuff there. Anyway, welcome back. Second half of the IRONWORX kicking off right now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, talking about the liquid and the water and space and all that, we do have to be careful with the old liquid and spinny ball and things. You know how us humans are. As of right now, we've shifted the Earth by 31.5 inches just by excessive groundwater extraction. That's right. Humans have altered the Earth's tilt. Let me get a sip of water for this one.
We altered the tilt?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why it's not 30, Sesame? Polaris
31. Yep. You figured it out. So apparently, let's see, this is a shocking study. Oh, well, I'm shocked. This is published in the Geophysical Research Letters. Groundwater extraction, pumping that out here. Us little humans can not only change the Earth's rotation, but also impact the sea level rise. Oh my God. The change in the Earth's tilt is equal to 0.24 inches of sea level rise. Well, wait, I thought 31.5 inches were very unmathable. Let's see. Earth's rotational pole actually changes quite a lot. This is all quotations. Our study shows that among climate-related causes, there you go. The redistribution of groundwater actually has the largest impact on the drift of the rotational pole, says Ki Wan Xiao, a geophysicist at the Seoul National University. And he is the study lead on this whole thing. Earth's tilt, which is also known as axial precession, is influenced by the distribution of mass, which is, in this case, water, across. I know I'm starting to...
I do this all the time when I cook. Well, I used to. Once I got good at cooking, I never did this. But I'd be trying to boil water, and I'd get too much water on one side of the pan and not enough water on the other. So just that real thin layer of water would always burn, and I could never get it evenly distributed across the pan.
That's how water does. You're very actually correct, sir. So as ice melts, the water flows towards the equator. Kind of like when a figure skater slows when their arms are extended outward. Wait. Yeah, tighten up fast. Okay. Oh my God. I don't know if I can get through this. So this study takes into account some data from 93 to 2010 that shows that the pumping of as much as 2,150 gigatons of groundwater has changed or caused a change in the Earth's tilt, roughly 31.5 inches over how many years? I can't do math. Pumping is largely for irrigation and also for human use. Gotcha. Groundwater, that's the water stored beneath Earth's soil and pores and rock fractures and things like that. They're forming part of the hydrological cycle. It originates from precipitation that infiltrates the ground, replenishing the underground aquifers. These aquifers serve as critical freshwater reservoirs, supply drinking water, and irrigation for agriculture as well as for industrial need. Why does it matter? That's what I'm trying to find out. Well, look at that. Why it matters. Though the tilt might seem insignificant on a human scale, I mean, yeah, I guess it. Anyway, such shifts can cause notable environmental consequences. It can affect different sea levels. It can impact the planet's magnetic field. Which is how we're shielded. You know what? That is the literal last sentence. That is it. It can impact the Earth's internal systems, including its magnetic field, which shields us from harmful solar radiation. Full stop. Comments below. I don't believe that's where we ended this. Is there not a link for the rest of the story? A click here to finish reading this idiot fuckery? No, that's it. That's what you get.
It's a heavy-handed editor right there.
That's a fucking, that's, yeah, heavy editing. There is a video, and I'm not going to click it. I don't think this video has anything to do with the actual story. Absolutely not. It doesn't. It is completely something else. So, yeah, this was a great little story about nothing. Anyway, 31.5 inches. We've shifted it. Aren't humans neat?
Amazing.
We're neat.
So have you guys heard about the all the Nazca lines they're finding now?
I saw a story going by as we were going live, and I was scrolling a bit, and I didn't click it yet.
So I didn't know there was as many as we had found up to 2020. Let me see. So they've discovered a total of 430 figurative geoglyphs, they call them. That took like 100 years. Let's see. They were first discovered in the mid-1920s. And not until 2020, they had 430 of these Nazca lines. I didn't know there was that many. Well, in 2020, they spent 6 months using drones and ground penetrating radar and stuff like that, and they found 303 more in 6 months. That's pretty wild. Some of these things are huge, like 10 miles long, some of them. Yeah, this place is so big. It's just crazy.
So back in the 80s, or early 90s, maybe even that late, when they were still flying the shuttles around above us, there was going to be this event that was going to take place. They were going to be pulling this like line, like a line they were going to cast out the back of the space shuttle, and they were going to drag it through the atmosphere and create electricity somehow. This is what I'm vaguely remembering the official account being. And so we all went outside that night when it got dark and looked up to see this amazing event that, of course, we didn't see. And I'm like, okay, crazy. So I went to bed that night and dreamed, quote unquote, which in my reality meant probably an out-of-body experience for that night. Being up there, watching them open, or, however they would let this silver metallic line, thread, whatever you want to call it, out behind the shuttle. Now, this is all again in dream time, out of body. And these lines would go into a shape as they fell out of the, like they would let it go, cut it loose. It would catch on fire, and then it would fall to the ground. And wherever it fell, it would make either a crop circle or one of these petroglyphs. Because I'm all, the one I always think about is the big giant ant. That's the one that always broke my brain, the way it looks so crazy and stuff. Anyway, so I don't know, just this, every time this topic is brought up, the Nazca lines or crop circles, I remember that fucking experience. I don't even call it a dream anymore. It was just, it literally felt like they were putting these, at the time, I didn't even really know what glyphs were, or I didn't know what kind of magic world we were laboring under here. I just know in my process of watching this happen, it felt very like they were putting spells into the ground. That's what it felt like. Then about 2 or 3 nights ago, I guess it was Friday night after the show, actually, just winding down, flipping through, and noticing that one of the versions of the Justice League movie was about to expire off one of my streamers, and I haven't watched that since they put out the Zack Snyder cut or whatever. And this was apparently even a totally different cut of the Justice League movie that I had not seen. So I began to watch it. And at one point, the main bad guy, Steppenwolf, is having this vision or whatever given to him by these boxes that he is watching. The super bad guy, his boss or whatever, has landed upon the earth or whatever in this cartoon or whatever, fake CGI bullshit. And he comes out and he does this thing with his big, powerful staff and hits the ground, and this huge, fiery thing begins to etch itself upon the earth. He calls it the anti-life equation in that storyline. And I don't know, it just all, like when I watched that, I immediately thought of the shuttle dropping the silver strings, the Nazca lines, and then here we have this story now out of nowhere. I don't know, just kind of rambling more than anything at this point. But I know there's been another time period where we talked about the shapes upon our earth and how they are affecting the energy grid, like the pyramids and the different Neolithic structures that we keep uncovering, and how they are basically like, transformers and circuits and this circuit board we're all living upon. I don't know. Again, a Walt ramble, hashtag Walt ramble. But yeah, I'm trying to find a story that I can read that you're reading. Would you drop one for me? 2 of them now I've clicked into about this are going to want me to create an account to read the story. So drop me the one you have.
It's a New York Times one. I couldn't believe they let me read it.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm trying to look at right now. They just want me to sign up for all of a sudden. So
don't know how.
I give them even $1 a week.
Yeah, every time I click in, it says to continue reading the article, yada, 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 subscribe. And it didn't do it this time. I couldn't believe it.
Jaron.
He fixed it for me.
Little gift before he left.
Yeah.
How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing good. He got there. He's in Seattle right now. I think he's going to be there like 6 days in Seattle or something like that. They'll be leaving right after Thanksgiving to head to South Korea, and then a few days in South Korea, then they head over to Tokyo or Japan. Not Tokyo. I believe it's out in the sticks, out in the country of Japan.
Nice. That's where I'd want to be.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the big. Yeah, I hear Tokyo is pretty wild. Just a lot of people. And it's super expensive to live in Tokyo. Like, super expensive. Like living in New York City. Everything costs a lot more. But when you get out to the sticks, houses become a lot more affordable. And his brother got a really nice house for, a really decent price out there, out in the country. So yeah, I think he's going to have a good time. But yeah, traveling went well and all that kind of good stuff. He was supposed to go to Chicago and then out to Seattle, and his flight from South Carolina got delayed. So he ended up being flown to Houston and then up there, which actually ended up being faster because he didn't have the layover in Chicago for a real long time. So he kind of got to Houston, ate, and then didn't have to wait very long. Got on another plane and got there. And I think he ended up getting there faster than if his original flights would have taken place. Yeah. No, things are working out. But yeah, he's doing good.
He's liable to come back a completely different person.
I know. He's going to be speaking Japanese and all kinds of stuff. Wearing a kimono. Hair up in a bun. Carrying a sword.
Well, he probably couldn't get it to the airport. He's probably going to have to get home and buy one.
So do you hear what they're doing with the Florida Attorney General? Or the head of Florida's health? He's advising communities to stop adding fluoride to the drinking water. Now, this is an NPR article, so of course they're going to defend fluoride.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best things since sliced bread.
Did you know that the best thing before sliced bread was bagged bread?
Yeah, they call adding fluoride to the drinking water one of the 10, what are they saying here? 10 greatest public health interventions of the 20th century. Right. But he advised local governments across the state to stop adding fluoride to their community water supply. He called it public health malpractice. And then I'm not even going to read all the propaganda that they have to put in here about how good fluoride is. And this and that, you know, they never want to specify. They just say fluoride, right? Like that's all it is. There's just this stuff. It's called fluoride. No, that's not how it works. There's calcium fluoride, which, yes, is found in nature all over the place. It's already in drinking water in very small trace amounts, more in other places. That's how they figured this all out. But it's calcium fluoride. Sodium fluoride, which is the main ingredient in rat poison, is not good for you. Imagine that. Something that kills other biological life, like quickly, to the point where we sell it as poison to kill rodents. We put that in our water supply.
But it says fluoride right there in the name.
Yeah,
how bad could it be?
Fluoride. How bad? It's good for your teeth, right? I mean, no.
Alcoa says it's great for your teeth.
Yeah, see, and I used to love National Public Radio, NPR.
Me too.
Used to listen all the time, thinking I was getting all the good advice.
Oh, see, I was listening to like Garrison Keillor and the Tappet Brothers, and they did have some good, few good programs on there. Wasn't necessarily the news per se that I'd listen to. But actually, fluoride in the water was like probably the first thing that really triggered me with Alex Jones. Some of the first stuff I saw him putting out there was all about fluoride. Probably search on my Facebook page somewhere. Just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see a lot of fluoride stuff.
Well, and this guy says it great. You know, he's like, okay, even if you believe if fluoride works, and it's not dangerous. He says, in this day and age, with all the additional sources of fluoride that people have access to, they put it in toothpaste, mouthwashes, even foods. You can buy water with fluoride added to it. It is a public health malpractice to continuing adding fluoride to community water systems that pregnant women and children have access to. Yeah,
they sell bottled water at our local store that is marketed for mothers to buy it for their infants. It has babies on the little stuck-on label, and it is full of fluoride.
That's insane.
I want to just take a knife to those bottles and cut them open every time I look at that shelf. I don't encourage that.
Keep your baby docile and won't cry as much?
Apparently they figured it out, right?
Oh my goodness.
Don't got to worry about all that college tuition.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Don't want your child to be smarter than you? Here. They're saying it's having effect on children, which is making ADHD and things like that prevalent. As to where we didn't have children with all these issues back in the day. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. Oh my goodness. They're not going to let this fusion energy thing ever go away. They must be getting lots of funding for it to afford all these articles to be written. China makes historic leap in energy with the world's first high-temperature superconductor tokamak. I don't know. Imagine harnessing the power of the sun right here on Earth. Offering 4 times the energy output of traditional fission reactors with significantly less radioactive waste. Sure. Fusion has the potential to revolutionize our energy landscape. Now, how long have we been trying to do this? Since the 60s or 70s? And they're still estimating it's going to be decades before the first one is active. So if it's going to take decades, does that mean you don't know how to do it yet? Is that what that entails? Is that how you say we don't have a clue without saying we don't have a clue? Well, let's see. I'm 37 right now, and that means that 67 I'll retire. So we're going to need, it's going to take about 3 decades.
Even that seems a little specific, Zach. If you could just get rid of that 3. I mean, you don't need to be all that specific. Just take decades. Maybe 3. Maybe 12.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 12 decades. It's fine. 12 decades is still just decades long. Just decades away. Just 12 short decades away.
That's just crazy to me how they get away with it. And I know it's just to keep the funding flowing so they can all feed their families and all that stuff, but if you can't do it, you can't do it. Don't pretend like you can or like it's even possible. You cannot recreate the sun. I'm sorry. We don't know what the sun is or how it even actually works, for one. So to sit there and say that you're going to recreate it, it's just asinine. And they sit there and tell us that they've made things that are 10,000 times hotter than the sun here on Earth. Really? You know, like the highest smelting temperatures don't really go that high. I mean, the sun is hotter than, the sun will smelt lead and osmium.
Yeah, but who dealt it?
Oh my goodness. So what material are you holding this heat in? If you're making it 10,000 times hotter than the sun, which can melt anything here on Earth, what are you holding this heat in?
That 8,000 times magnetic field they created. That's how they're holding it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is that how they're doing it? Right.
We'll see what it
Hey,
happened
look, I have to
was.
do my due diligence. I'm sorry, guys. We're about to go to break, and I don't want to let my error stand. They do no longer have a baby picture on the fluoride baby water. My apologies to all the demons and sinners who've created this lovely concoction to help our babies. I just wanted y'all to see I wasn't making it up. Pure life, purified fucking water, baby water for babies with fluoride in it. Oh my God, evil fucks.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they did at least take the baby off the picture of the baby off the bottle, whatever. The cute little block letters they've got on there now that's not attractive to children. I'll stop now.
Yeah, if you think fluoride is safe, just go read your toothpaste. Read the warning. It says if you accidentally ingest a pea size, the size of a pea, not very big, to contact poison control. That's all you need to know.
Oh my God. Ona in chat is saying the ex's son got, it moved. Ex's son got a script for extra fluoride toothpaste because of school. Are we flashing back to the 70s, dude? That's where my hell in my mouth started, was the fucking gallon of fluoride rinse they would send home. Just here, take that. Yeah, no charge. That's good for your teeth. Now make sure you chew this red tablet afterward. Oh my God, I can't believe that, man. So sorry.
Yeah, that's tough. That's nuts.
He must be asking too many questions.
Right. Right. Be careful. You got
this one some fluoride. We have one that can see.
All right, then.
Lord, this is 3 years ago. Who knows what's happening now? Oh, Lord.
All right, let's do this damn thing. We'll take a simple break. We'll just keep it simple. Stick around. Fourth and final segment of the Ironworks coming up right after this.
Lately things are on my mind. Good news is hard to find. And I work on the factory line, and all I do is stay behind. Call my mama like I should. She says Daddy ain't doing too good. Me and him should wear the line, just can't seem to find the time. But I love my life, man, it's something to see. It's the kids and the dogs and you and me. It's the way it's alright, everything goes wrong. It's the sound of a slow, simple song. Finally saved some money up, till I had to fix my truck. Talked to brother the other day, he didn't have too much to say. Trying to quit these cigarettes, I can't seem to kick them yet. Sister got laid off last fall, and I got high cholesterol. But I love my life, man, it's something to see. It's the kids and the dogs and you and me. It's the way it's alright when everything goes wrong. It's the sound of a slow, simple song. Yeah, I love my life, man, it's something to see. It's the kids and the dogs and you and me. It's the way it's alright when everything goes wrong. It's the sound of a slow, simple song.
Iron Realm Media is so beautiful, I could eat it. You know, sometimes people come up to me, they say, "Hey, Chris." And I say, "What?" "Well, what would you say?" They say, "Hey, Chris." I say, "What?" They say, "How do you start your mornings?" I tell them, I say, you know, the boys over at Iron Realm Media, Josh, Walt, and Zack, or Good Times for All if you prefer, you know, if you need more iron in your diet, check them out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, early in the morning, 5 to 7. Nothing, get up, do it. It's good for you.
Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
Welcome back. Fourth and final segment of the IRONWORX kicking off right now. Big shout out to everybody there in chat hanging out with us live this morning. Then, of course, everybody live this morning not hanging out in chat, just kicking back and listening to us.
Thank y'all. So have you guys ever heard of chloramine?
No.
Well, they're saying this is a newly identified chemical in drinking water.
Because it sounds familiar. I thought they were adding chloramine to it. Different chlorides to the water.
Well, yeah, it's a mixture of, it's used to kill viruses and bacteria. Is not yet known whether it is dangerous, but they've been putting in our drinking water for 100 years now. A newly identified chemical byproduct may be present in drinking water. In about a third of U.S. homes, a study found. Scientists do not yet know whether the byproduct is dangerous. Wouldn't that be something you would want to find out before you start putting it?
Byproduct, you're saying? You said byproduct? As like they're dumping shit in our water just to get rid of it? Is that what you're implying?
Well, they're saying they're using it to kill all the bacteria and viruses that might form in the water that's in the pipes between, the facility and your house. So it may be in there for several days, and they don't want bacteria and viruses and stuff like that growing in the pipes, so they add waters to it, or chemicals. And chloramine is a mixture of chlorine and ammonia. It is often used to kill viruses and bacteria in municipal water treatment systems. So the existence of this byproduct, the product you get from mixing the chlorine, and was discovered about 40 years ago. So they've known about this for 40 years and haven't thought, hey, maybe we should check to see if this stuff is toxic. And they still say it could take years to figure out. If you want to know the technical word, they're giving it chloronitromide anion, anion. It's never been studied. So they've been putting it in the water. They've known about it for 40 years, and nobody's decided, hey, let's check this to see if, this could be hurting people.
So let's just say, for instance, if you were to mark a 55-gallon barrel, a big drum of whatever the chemical word you just said that I thought I was going to be able to remember but didn't. But you fill it with water. Yeah? Then you go out in front of, say, a school, and you just kick the barrel over and let it start to spill everywhere and walk away. Let them see. I'd be real curious how they'd handle that. Well, this is what we put in the drinking water. How should we treat it? Like a deadly substance?
This is how we act when we spill it on the ground right here.
Do we treat it like it's a deadly substance and let everybody know that this goes into their drinking water? Or just simply admit the fact that we don't know if it's a deadly substance or not, because we put it in your drinking water anyway.
So one of the doctors that's been wanting to study this stuff, he says it has similarity to other toxic molecules. And that's what really piqued his interest. We looked for it in 40 samples in 10 U.S. chlorinated drinking water systems located in 7 states and found it in all samples. It's produced as the chloramine decays over time. Uh, 113 million U.S. residents receive this type of treatment, and it's been used for about a century to disinfect water. So, yeah, it's used to protect the system's residual, the water that remains in pipes for several days after it leaves the water treatment plant. It's been favored over just chlorine because chlorine produces byproducts which are associated with bladder cancer and are regulated by the EPA. Can't there be a better way of doing this? Like, there's got to be some type of UV light system or something like that we can put on our houses or right at the tap that's going to disinfect the water right before you drink it. There's got to be a better way than just poisoning everyone. They say it's a pretty small molecule and it can probably, for that reason, enter into biological systems and into cells. And it is still a reactive molecule. Those are the kind of things you worry about.
It's been decided that liver cancer is better than dysentery.
We don't know the toxicity, but this study has enabled us to be able to do that work now. Oh my goodness. Okay, he added that some past studies have suggested a link between drinking disinfected water and increased rates of certain cancers. Probably a decade of research. Once the funding source is found, there it is. There's the kicker. Once we get some money, then we'll be able to save all of you and get the poison out of your water. But until you give us money, keep drinking that poison.
We'll just have no choice but to keep dumping this chemical into the water untested. Sorry. It's your fault. It's your fault you're getting poisoned. If you'd have just let us test it to figure out it was poison earlier, we would have stopped dumping it.
Now, maybe instead of researching the sex drive of the dung beetle on cocaine this year and giving millions towards that and all the other funding that we give, you know, transgender monkey, you know, sexual habitat, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to study that stuff this year. Let's figure this out. Let's make the water that we drink every day of our lives, the one thing we have to have, let's make that a little safer. Let's focus on something like that. Yeah, instead of giving money and funding to NASA research that's not going to advance us in any way whatsoever.
Let's just put a little pause. I'm not saying you've got to dismantle the thing whole cloth, but we'll just put like 5 years. We'll call it 5 years into the next administration, a 5-year pause on NASA, and we'll take all that money and devote it towards testing the water that we drink and bathe with. Make sure it's not slowly killing us all. I'll be crazy.
Oh, man. And it's crazy, the stuff that, you know, that people get all upset and worked up over. That stuff like this. They get all upset about, you know, who won the presidency or their favorite team lost or this or that. That gets their emotions going. They find out we're all being poisoned on a mass scale, and that's why cancer rates in this country have skyrocketed, you know, just exponentially. But that doesn't matter to people.
That's why it's a chloramine fluoride cocktail. Keep the fluoride in there. Nobody's going to care that there's chloramine.
Crazy. And this isn't something new. The whole people bringing up that fluoride's bad. I mean, this was one of the things I used to wake people up to if they wouldn't listen to Flat Earth and still think that we went to the moon, then I would bring up fluoride. Because there was lots of data, you know, that you could get back in 2015, 2014, that straight up said fluoride is the most cancer-causing chemical we've ever found. Sodium fluoride, that is. That was from the United States Cancer Research Institute back in the 30s. Sodium fluoride was the most cancer-causing chemical they had ever found. So it wasn't like they didn't know about this stuff. It wasn't like, oops, yeah, we just didn't
have the funding to test it. We just didn't know. Nobody would fund us. We didn't have the funding, so we couldn't do the testing, so we just didn't know if it was poison. No, They had the funding. They did the testing, found out what it was poison, and said, fuck it. F-U-G-I-T, fuck it. We just put it in the water anyway.
Like, man, it would cost a lot of money to store this stuff in these containers that don't break down and this and that. And they, you know, it gets the leak and you got to pay all these fines. How can we get rid of all this toxic chemical waste that we'd have to pay a fortune to store somewhere forever? How can we get rid of it? Let's just feed it to people. Let's just make give it to people and they'll just drink it.
Well, Post puts in chat, says, okay, so fluoride bad. Alternatives. Here's one. Grab a ball peen hammer and smack it against your forehead repeatedly. That'd be an alternative. I mean, the fluoride compounds don't really do a whole lot for dental health or dental hygiene. So it's not like you need an alternative for that. All it really does is lower your IQ, make you dumb and docile. So you're just looking for alternatives to making you dumb and docile. And I think a properly applied ball peen hammer will do just the trick.
I think it would. But yeah, you don't need an alternative. It doesn't do anything good for you. The stuff they
I heard
claim
lobotomies are cool, though.
Which were legal up until the 70s. Believe it or not, taking an ice pick, pretty much an ice pick, ramming it through your nose, and separating your frontal lobe from the rest of your brain. That was legal.
I'd rather have a frontal lobotomy than a bottle of fluoride water in front of me.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Well, what did William Casey say back in 1981? He was the head of the CIA for Reagan. When everything the American people believes is false, we will have completed our mission. Like when you think about that statement, and then you look at the world, it's not a joke. He wasn't joking. He wasn't being
hyperbolic.
It wasn't hyperbolic. No, he was 100% telling the truth. That they don't want us to know anything about reality, what's really going on. They want us to think that the medicine we take is healing us when it's actually hurting us.
If only there was a way for us to cleanse our teeth and our mouth and our palate without a brush and some toxic chemical upon, oh, that's right, a proper diet with frickin' fibrous foods and no sugar and lots of water. Yeah, that would be tough, though. A lot tougher than just shoving a fucking toothbrush loaded with death on your fucking mouth. I guess that's easier, so.
Save time.
Maybe we could create like a robotic, what do they call those little fish that attach themselves to the shark?
Pilot
kind
fish.
of clean their teeth. A pilot fish. Maybe we can get like robotic pilot fish and just attach them to our faces with suckers, and they can just, as soon as we eat a meal, just run in there and get it off.
And they can hang on people's nose rings while they're not in use.
You could. It has a little tuft of hair, and you can color it like to match yours. Fuck yeah!
Oh my goodness, a little tuft of hair. So a newly identified chemical that they've known about for 40 years, but now it's newly identified. And they've been putting in the water for 100 years. They're finding out might not be so good for us.
That was close.
Now, would you, I don't know. Would you want to know all the different poisons that you've been taking throughout your whole life?
I never watched that Food Incorporated movie, so probably not.
Would the stress and fear cause more damage than the not knowing? Just being ignorant and blissful? That'd probably be on a person by person basis.
Well, if you introduce a placebo effect, I mean, maybe not knowing doesn't do anything at all, right? You don't know it's there, it must not exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Would it do less damage just not even knowing that it's there right now? I mean, the damage has been done. You drank it already. But would the damage be worse if you knew about it? From just the stress and anxiety and the what if that comes from it all.
So we have this new chemical that we're going to put into these little nano robot-y things, and we're going to inject it into you. It's going to go in there. It's going to clean all that out. We've had this on the shelf. We've just been waiting for the right time to bring it out and sell it to you. Maybe even fix it so your insurance will pay us extra for it. We got a plan. Don't worry.
Arkansas moves to remove fluoride from water as well. I just got an article. They filed bills that could lead to fluoride being removed from drinking water in the whole state. Well, it's a good thing. It's a start, we'll say.
I think Regina's got it figured out in chat. Those little fish they use to nibble the dead skin off of your feet.
Ah, yeah.
those might work. You just sell it in a little pop top can and slug it, but you don't drink, don't swallow. You just swish them around, let them go to work. What time's the patent office open?
Laura in chat says the California courts said no. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel sorry for a lot of those people out in California that have to deal with that just loony government system that's in control there. But, I mean, that's what a lot of those people out there voted for. It's crazy, and I don't understand it, but that's why I like the whole states' rights thing. You could always move to another state and still live in the country and be afforded, all the luxuries of living in this country. I don't have to live like the people in California. I can live like the people want to live here in South Carolina. And the federal government hasn't made it so they have control over everything that we do. And the states can be a little bit different. Because people are different. But yeah, I feel bad for a lot of those people out there in California that didn't vote for that kind of stuff and don't want to live in the Thunderdome. But they are changing things around out there. I heard they're starting to make it to where, or maybe it was Oregon, where stealing over $1,000 worth of stuff is now a felony again, at least. And stealing anything. Yeah, stealing anything is like a misdemeanor now again. Where you don't just get to go into stores and fill up your arms and walk out, flipping the bird as you're walking away, and nobody does anything about it. They're finally trying to put a stop to that. Well, after every company pretty much left Oakland, like they don't have a Walgreens or a CVS, or they have like nothing as far as that kind of stuff goes. No, it's just crazy out there, man. I feel sorry for those people. But like everything else, that too will change one day. Love y'all.
James, did it already?
Oh,
sure,
wow.
Shit.
Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out this morning. Thank you for calling in, Rico. Love y'all.
Love you guys. Yeah, heck yeah. I'm going to go take some meds and get ready for work. Who'd have thought?
I hope you feel better, man. I really do. Lord, if anybody understands the crap with your back, I definitely do.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm hoping it does too. Just maybe just that slower process getting me realigned. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it takes a minute. I know when I started going, it was a process for sure. So, love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, I love you guys. Make sure you guys come hang out with us on Wednesday morning for more of the Ironworks. You're on freeworld.fm. We'll find out whether or not the chiropractor's done more harm than good. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your week. Be good. Be well. Do it good and do it well. We love you. Bye-bye.